Guys, I looked at Carvesmart years ago, and at the time it wasn't cost effective for me because I wasn't really, doing that much business and didn't have the house. Um, but somebody mentioned in the comments, and I don't remember his name, um, about whether I looked into it, and I said, yeah, it's been a while, and I went and looked at it again, and I decided to go ahead and order um, some stuff from them. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it now. So this looks like the Mitee Bite jaws. So well, let's open this first. Not sure exactly what each one is. This is part number 50106. And, okay, so this looks like basically just solid jaws to replace my regular jaws once I put the Carvesmart system in. Alright. The Parma jaws, they call them. Alright, and this must be the actual, I don't know what they call it, but the system where you put the jaws into. So 4 screws. So here's the actual jaws. I'm sorry, part number 1000 or 10,000 rather. So here's the base system. These you replace your current jaws or your whatever soft jaws or whatever you have with these jaws, and then these jaws will allow you to slide these jaws in. And then this are the Mitee Bite set here. My brother's about to walk in here. This is part number 50206, and these will take both the round style, I forget what it's called, and the Talon grips here. And so I went and picked these up from McMaster. So looks like they have a new part number of 32020, and we got those are these are vice stops, so you can drop them down in here and use them as vice stops. And let's see here, then the actual Talon grips 32050. I've got 4, I think. Thought I actually got more than that, but I guess I got 4, 2 for each side. All right, so let me go ahead and open up the main system one first. All right, so basically it's just a dovetail jaw that you can lock it down in these 3 locations. One of the things is I plan on doing a bunch of quick setup jobs, and there's 2 things. One, that you can use this stop for repeatability, putting your soft jaws back in. Currently I have to open the 6-inch vise all the way to get my Allen down in there, and then bring them up, and if they don't align correctly, then I have to unloosen them, back it all the way out, bring it up again. This will help me get that right the first time. The Talon grips are clearly for just holding on to the bottom of material, so that I can use not have to get such oversized material in order to machine it off and deck the bottom off. And these are just replacement jaws. Now the other thing is they have soft jaw material, and I just got the smallest piece here. Not sure how this opens. And it's basically just soft jaws with the dovetail cut in it. So I don't actually have an Allen to put this on here, but you basically can put it on, tighten these 3 screws, and so you don't have to bring your jaws in and out all the way. You could actually slide these in from the end as well. And when you need to get your jaws centered up, your soft jaws centered up for the the second time, you close it in on the part, and everything will align itself, and then you can just screw it down instead of backing the jaws all the way out and putting the screws back in. So the theory is this should help me speed up my my setups a lot more. Oh, and this is actually extruded this way. It's not machined in. But maybe I could dedicate something to making this. They also sell this in like I can't remember, like 6 or 7 foot long sections as well. Another cool thing is if you only need a small soft jaw section, you can just cut it to however long you want. Instead of using, you know, currently I use the full 6 inches, and I believe it's about $10 per set currently. And you have to use the full, you know, 6-inch. This one also, if you get set up on 2 vise, you can actually cross this across two vices and machine in your soft jaw there, so you can, you know, hold bigger material and set up bigger, you know, bigger, longer jobs. You can even probably go out, you know, 7-8 inches off, you know, from, and use a 6-inch vise, and, you know, have an extra inch or so just for downward support. So anyway, this all just came in, and these Mitee Bite talons just screw in, you know, in here, and so do the stops. I'm gonna go ahead and set up a job that I need to do and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I've got the I forget what they call this, but the system installed, the base unit installed, and then I've got the talon grip jaws installed. So you can see that with those two installed, it eats up quite a bit of real estate there. And here's how they come in and off. I'm just going to take this back one off here. Actually, I might take them both off. Alright, so you just take this off. And my brother asked me if I could do without these, just use this as a jaw, and I might be able to, but I'd much rather run my end mill into this than into, I mean, he asked me if I could use this one, and I'd much rather run my end mill into this instead of this, because I believe this is quite a bit more expensive, and there's, you know, just a tiny bit of material here. Alright, so it won't, this is just the back jaw floating free, but it's got this pin here that gives it alignment, and it's got no detectable movement. Alright, so you just do that, tighten these down. And that's swapping jaws. Now before, normally, I think I torqued these down too tight.
Start those over here, get them clean and ready.
So this is the first time putting these in and out, so I got to get used to it a little bit. But usually I have to pull these screws out, and I have to open the jaws this wide to get them out, and then, like I said, the soft jaws can slide back and forth. So when I close it, I gotta leave this back jaw loose, close it up to get the soft jaw to align to the part. Then I gotta back it all the way back out, screw these 2 screws in, get it tight, bring it up again, make sure everything's still aligned. They've got the pin on these. You can get them without the pins, and you can also, the soft jaws, you can get them pre-made with the pins or put your own pins in. So those can just slide in from the side. You don't have to open it up all the way. But with this locating pin here, you have to put it in. So that's all it takes to switch the jaws out, which is going to be substantially faster than how I've been doing it now. Even though there's 3 screws instead of 2, you don't have to move them very much. So that's that. Here's the talon grips installed, and the actual stop made by Mitee Bite as well. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, this was one of the features I really wanted with this vise, being able to take things in and out quickly, and the talon grips. So the talon grips here, I have a talon grip stop and 2 talon grips currently on each jaw. And what they allow you to do is, there's about 60 thou from where the part sits to the top of the Mitee Bite, the talon grip. and that allows me to hold on to less material. Before, the minimum amount of material I could hold was about 125 thou, and that just limits the amount of parts that I can make and the amount of excess material I need to machine away later. If I can get most of my parts held on by 60 thou, then I can do all my machining, bring my end mill down, closer to the table, because I like to bring my end mill down 50 thou below the bottom of the part, and then when I flip it over, I deck off and be sure it cleans up all the edges. And it's going to be a lot easier only holding on to a little bit of material instead of having 125 thou stuck below the vise surface. All right, so here is an actual part I cut in here, and you can see how close I needed to machine down in order to get this part out of this material. I decked like 10 thou off the top, and I would have had to have bought 1.5 inch material in order to hold it by any more, and I was able to hold it with 1.25 inches. I couldn't find anything between 1.25 inches and 1.5 inches, so I would have had to waste a bunch more material. You can see it didn't actually clean up on this side. It was real close to the stock dimensions, but yeah, you can see right there that if I had that sitting down in the vise, I wouldn't have been able to cut this part.